Valda Cui is a brand new character to Naraka Bladepoint, and she has tons of ways to make waves in the current meta. If you're looking to string together some combos, trap your opponents in some CC, or just play as a female pirate, then stick around because I have a guide all about Valda Cui. Hey everyone, it's OSK, and today I am joined by PsychoWaffle. PsychoWaffle has his own YouTube channel where he showcases different combos you can do on each patch, and today he's going to help us with the more advanced techniques that you can do with Valda Cui. For today's video, we're going to be talking about all the basics of Valda Cui, including her skills and ultimates, and then we'll be diving into some of her insane combos towards the end. Valda Cui has plenty of ways to extend your advantage in your Naraka gameplay, and also ways to act more defensively if you need to. She's very balanced in that regard, and you should definitely pick her up if you're looking to spice up your character pool. But enough talk, let's dive right into the ultimate guide for Valda Cui. Here we go. Starting with Valda's skills, Haze on a very basic level allows you to create bubbles of water that stun your enemy for a short time. The function of these bubbles depends on what variant of Haze you take, but as you'll soon learn, there's a lot you can do with each. Starting with the basic variant of Haze, this is arguably her strongest tool for combo extensions and overall offense. Haze allows Valda to launch a single character-sized bubble that will bind enemies in place for 2 seconds. However, just like Teamwork's Wisps, they can be blue focused through, so you'll need to be careful if you're just flinging them outside of hit stun. If you do manage to land a hit though, you'll be able to extend your offense or even help your defense if you decide to run away for a bit, especially after an uppercut. The applications of this variant are pretty insane, and we'll get to it a bit later in PsychoWaffle's combo section. The second variation of Haze is called Array, and this lets you create a field of bubbles around your initial spawn after a brief charge. This can be a decent deterrent if players are scared of being bound by the smaller bubbles on the edge, and could offer you a decent reset in some circumstances. Just keep in mind that it does not block any projectiles, so ranged weapons are fair game. Now, one offensive option you can take is to try and hit your enemy into as many of the smaller bubbles as possible for some decent strings. Not the easiest task in the world, especially when you factor in elevation, but something you should still keep in mind for sure. The third and final variation of Haze is called Teleport, and this is like Valda's get out of jail free card, letting you hop backwards with golden focus and spawning 3 water bubbles that bind enemies for half a second. During this time, Valda can regain the advantage, use her ultimate to try and set up a powerful pushback, or, if she plays her cards right, try and run away from the fight. You basically want to use this ability like a basic Viperning Yushan Enigma or a Tien Hai Divine Bell. It's essentially your ticket to stop a combo in its tracks and regain some kind of agency. There's also a decent enough setup off of Haze Teleport that lets you get a nasty combo off that should be on screen right now from PsychoWaffle. Now for a more advanced tip for Valda Cui's skills, each skill has a specific purpose and should be used with that in mind. The original Haze skill is mainly to extend your advantage and hit some insane combos that you'll see in the combo section. Haze Array is a great tool for neutral to get you a field of CC to layer on top of your damage threat and safeguard against disadvantage to some extent. And finally, Haze Teleport is essentially a great way to end a combo with golden focus and break away from the action to reset in disadvantage. Very rarely do you want to deviate from these uses. Now, am I saying that you have to absolutely follow this tip 100% of the time? No, there are some situations where you want to throw out a defensive Haze or use Array in advantage state, but for the most part, the skills are very tailored towards a very specific purpose that you should follow. There are plenty of different ways to play Valda Cui due to the versatility of Haze, and if you play your cards right, you'll be able to use them for both offense and defense in devastating fashion. Now before we go on to Valda's ultimates, if you're enjoying the video so far, how about dropping a like on the video and subscribing for more Naraka Bladepoint content in the future? It really helps me out when you do that. But now, back to the guide. Now, Valda's ultimate is called Nether Nightmare, and this lets you utilize some brutal CC or crowd control for a lot of options. Beginners to Valda Cui will see this as a way to just get some quick damage off, while pros will use this opportunity to plant traps and really get every last bit of use they can out of the huge advantage this ultimate gives you. The first variation of Nether Nightmare allows you to summon a tidal wave that will trap your opponents in a whirlpool while you float on a platform above the ground with a sea dragon. Once you're at the apex, you'll be able to throw a water spear at your opponent for a little bit of extra damage and a huge knockback. However, you'll need to be quick, as your enemies can struggle out of the dragon's coil, and you'll end up wasting your ultimate if they do so. The sea dragon behind you can also be damaged, which will drop you out of your ult, so you'll need to be careful for that as well. Overall, this can be a great tool to hold your opponent still for some free damage on both solos and trios, but it's nowhere near Valda's full potential, as we'll get into variant number 2. The second variation of Nether Nightmare is called Smite, and this does everything the first variation does, except you will not summon a platform for yourself. As you can see, your opponent is pretty much trapped, and you're free to do a lot of things. One of my favorite strategies is to throw a basic haze bubble directly below the waterfall, and as you hit your opponent out of the bind from the whirlpool, they will be rebound into the haze bubble, and you'll be able to get off even more damage via a combo or otherwise. If you're not into absolutely demolishing your opponent's morale though, you can also just run away once they're caught in the whirlpool or heal up before attacking them. Again, there's so many ways to use the Smite variant, and this is Valda's bread and butter, especially in solos in my opinion. Finally, the third variation of Nether Nightmare is called Bind, and this allows Valda to raise herself on a higher platform with her Sea Dragon, but with no tsunami wave this time. Once she's raised on the platform, she's able to repeatedly throw water spears which will bind enemies in whirlpools and then deal damage if you hit them again. This is a great alternative if you're in trios and need to repeatedly stun enemies for your team, and in solos if you're not too keen on hitting your initial tsunami wave to set up some CC. If you use this variant correctly, you'll be able to continuously lock down multiple opponents with a single ultimate. Just keep in mind that your movement is limited, so you'll need to know when to use it effectively. Overall, Valda Cui's ultimate gives you plenty of options to control the pace of the fight and set up either traps for your own benefit or lock down the enemy team for your trio. Now for combos, I'm going to play a series of combos for you provided by PsychoWaffle with every single melee weapon in Naraka Bladepoint. These combos are done using the original haze skill provided in Valda Cui's kit, which if you remember binds the enemy for 2 seconds. We'll give you both an easy version and a hard version, so no matter how skilled you are particularly, you'll be able to get some use out of the insane potential that Valda has. And that's going to do it for today's guide on Valda Cui. Thank you so much for watching. She's actually a fairly simple character with reliable ways to extend your advantage and improve your disadvantage, and I think you'll get a lot of mileage out of her if you use the knowledge from this guide. Another big thanks to PsychoWaffle for the combo showcase. I'm always watching videos from him to make sure to learn some new tech in Naraka, so you make sure to go subscribe to his channel. Get him to 1K! Also, if you're looking to join the Naraka competitive scene for tournaments and how to improve your gameplay further, you can join the Naraka League Discord, link in the description. And guys, sorry for my voice today. I am currently going through COVID, so hopefully you enjoyed the video despite that. Hopefully I get better soon. Anyway, just be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Naraka content, and I'll see you later. I've been OSK, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.